What's up, guys and gals? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter review. Finally caught up to chapter 93 of Ayakashi Triangle in the new office and all. First video is Ayakashi Triangle. I was hoping for something with a bit more of a view count, a bit more of a banger or something, but is what it is, these things happen. But either way, I actually kind of like this chapter because it's showcasing a side of Garaku, and we all know that Garaku is a bit of a fan favorite. He's got a cool design, he's got a cool personality, his backstory's fine and everything, and of course he's in love with Shadow Mai. He's playing both sides of the field sort of idea here, and he was the one to find her a hideout, suggest she go to school, to manipulate Suzume Matsuri and all that fun jazz. And what I like about this chapter is that we have Roka. At first it feels like it's a Roka-centric chapter because first, Garaku is setting up Shadow Mai in one of his many tool sheds, as he puts it, across the nation and stuff, just because her hideout was destroyed and such, and so but Roka doesn't like the idea that Garaku, who used to put her up, right, because when she first got there, Garaku was still on their side, and this is before Shadow Mai, but Roka doesn't like the idea that Garaku is a traitor to Suzume Matsuri, and that Shadow Mai is planning to eliminate all the humans and humanity, as it were. So she decides to change back into her full form and decides to fight Garaku. Now, of course, we need our Ichi moment. It wouldn't be an Ayakashi Triangle without an over-the-top, unnecessary Ichi moment. Talking about pressure. That's right, pressure. I haven't heard that term. I've heard many, many terms to describe the tatas, if you will, but I've never heard them referred to as the pressure. I mean, I think I'm going to start using that. Do you think that sounds a little too BDSM dirty talk for the bedroom? I'm not sure, but maybe we'll give that one a go later on. Who knows? But anyways, Matsuri is training to withstand the pressure, as it were, in a very, of course, classic Ichi moment. Now, this is where Matsuri gets informed by the mirror Ayakashi, who I forget the name of, and shows up and, full ninja gear and all that stuff, and is wondering, Roka's not going to stand a chance. Garaku's one of the strongest Ayakashi we've met in the series, due to the fact that, of course, Ayakashi get more energy in different methods, but where he's a very famous artist now over the last, decades, that's only increased his Ayakashi power. Right, and he's the one who sealed Matsuri and blah, 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 which is brought up here again. But Garaku is tanking and taking all of Roka's attacks here, and she can't understand why he won't fight back, and yada, yada, yada. And this is where Matsuri, who has already understood Garaku, is that he does feel bad. He does feel sorry. He knows that he didn't want to betray anybody. He likes us. He likes, but the problem is that he's in love with Shadow Mai. He's in love with Mai, and there's a bit of a conflict here, And now Matsuri gives Garaku a little too much credit, I believe, here. I'm not sure if Matsuri is completely accurate, because Garaku does deny it, though it's the classic fake out. He does deny actually trying to increase Matsuri's powers in this way by suppressing them and stuff, such like that. It could be the case, but I never made that assumption. I thought this would just get them out of the fight for a while, yada, yada, yada. I never assumed that Garaku was trying to train Matsuri in his own way while making it look like he was fighting him. I'm not 100%, but that's how we learned the Inner Storm Jutsu, of course, and that's where Garaku even claims, you're really overestimating me. That's not the intention, the speed of my brush is still insanely strong and stuff like that. And it's a really cool moment where Matsuri manages to stop even Garaku from using his brush before he's able to strike. Now, granted, if Garaku was truly trying to fight, maybe he could probably, I'm assuming that they're sort of equally matched in speed. I believe Garaku can still match Matsuri in speed from a power scaling perspective. He was just a little caught off guard by how fast Matsuri is now. He hasn't, been around for a while, so maybe he's just impressed at the high level of speed and stuff like that. So this is where we get the nice part of the chapter. As I said, this chapter is not bad. This is a pretty good chapter. We do have Matsuri and Garaku have this nice moment where basically saying, you urged her to go to school, you want to save Shadow Mai from herself, but you can't do it because you're an Ayakashi, and a heart broken by a human can only be healed by a human. right? So, and I like that idea. I like the idea that it doesn't matter, if you've been treated poorly in the past, or in this case, the very extreme, you've been killed and reincarnated, the only way you're going to get over that trauma, not get over it, but accept it, I guess, and realize that that was once like group of people, it doesn't paint everyone on the same brush, is to have them show you that they're not all bad. No matter how many Ayakashi you surround yourself with, it's not going to change your face on the demons, or the humans, or the whatever creature in this regard. So I actually kind of like that aspect, that's Garaku is very 3D chess about it. Matsuri has basically figured out his plan, because at least at this point, Garaku confirms that this is the case. He doesn't completely, but he basically asks, like, can you do that? Like, can you heal her in that way? And says, her hideout was destroyed and everything, and he just says, well, thanks. I did think it wasn't good for her to live in the ruins, and her heart is very fragile. And we're seeing the flashbacks to when her eye changes color and stuff, like it goes blackened and stuff. So we're seeing that she's still a 17-year-old girl. Remember, she was killed at the age of 16 or 17, so even though she's been around, and even though she's the Ayakashi medium, supposed to be wise and powerful and stuff, at the end of the day, she's still a teenager. She's still a kid. And her heart is very easily swayed, especially now being an Ayakashi with the trauma and the PTSD of the water and the humans killing her for a sacrifice for no good reason and that kind of stuff. She's very easily, depending on the situation, as Garaku points out, but then says, like, please just take care of her. Maybe you and Suzu will be able to help and stuff. So it is it's a good chapter to sort of round out why Garaku is doing what he's doing. Now, I sort of expected this to go on a little bit further. I expected like maybe a 2 or 3 parter involving why, like, them looking for the answers. Garaku, why did you do what you did? But so they sort of sped this up. That's one thing I don't really care for the chapter. Matsuri apparently off screen has completely figured out all of Garaku's motivations right down to a T, and Garaku's just like, yeah, okay, you figured it out. So that felt a little rushed. Pacing wise is off, especially for a character like Garaku, who, as I said, a bit of a fan favorite. I see people really like him. I really like his character, so I find that a little lackluster in that regard, but it's not handled poorly. If you had to do it in a chapter, at least it was handled properly with care here in chapter 93. So anyways, though, guys, that's the end of the chapter, end of the review. What did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe as always, and we will see you guys back here in the brand new office, in the brand new studio, for the next video. So looking forward to it. Know you guys are too, and we'll see you guys back here next time. Bye bye.